Hey, what's going on, guys? PocketableTech here, and what you are listening to is the PocketableTech Podcast, or what I hope to be bi-weekly series where I and a guest will be discussing mostly tech-related talk, as well as the occasional nonsensical banter that's probably going to be mostly inspired by alcohol, but I digress. This is episode 0001, and today I'm joined by fellow tech enthusiast, full-time engineer, aspiring yogi, and personal friend Pedro. What is going on, brother?
Hey, PocketableTech. Hey, what's going on, man? Not too much. I'm just over here, excited to be part of, the 0001 podcast. I'm not sure if we're going to go to 10,000 because there's not enough digits for four of them, but hopefully we'll make it there.
I know, I feel kind of pompous with those zeros, but, it's better. I'm being optimistic, honestly, so we'll see where this goes. Like I said, I hope to do this at least, maybe once every other week, but it's cool to have you on the first podcast, so very nice that you could join me.
Well, I feel honored, and it should be a good one.
All right, so let's just dive right into it. The first topic on the rundown is wearables. Now, you actually saw my Moto 360. I did the review on it, and I was curious, what did you actually think? Knowing after you saw it, I know that you said that you couldn't use it because obviously it's only for Android. You're limited to what is available to iOS. And I was curious, have you looked into the other options available?
Yes, I mean, I'm looking at it's Pebbles available now, right?
It's been available for a while. They came out with a second one. It was made out of metal. It was called Pebble Steel.
Pebble Steel, okay.
A little more premium looking. But the thing is, both of those smartwatches don't run like the Moto 360 when you saw mine, because that one runs off of Android Wear, which is like I said on my review, was Google's Android operating system.
I see.
I mean, I guess the main question is when you're buying a smartwatch, at least for you, what's the most important thing that you're looking in the smartwatch? Is it more the aesthetics, or are you looking for functionality, or a mix of both?
Yeah, it's more or less a mix. I like how it connects with other devices. It's not just kind of like on its own, sort of. I like how, like when I saw your phone, I liked how the GPS kind of went from your phone to the watch, or even voice dialing from your watch and having your contacts on your phone. So I like that kind of like bridge, like connectivity or whatever continuity between the two devices.
Yeah. Of course, that they speak to one another kind of flawlessly, and that's the thing. I mean, I haven't had much experience with the Apple Watch, so I don't know how exactly if that functions in the same way. But I know Pebble OS. It's more of a you don't have that much more functionality.
It works with only Pebble. It works with Pebble apps. I'm not sure how it works.
So the Pebble Watch works with iOS, so Apple, and it also works with Android. So that's it's good in that sense because you have it's multi-platform, whereas like the Moto 360 is strictly for Android phones, and then you have the Apple Watch, which is strictly for iOS. So that's what's cool about Pebble Steel, or even the original Pebble, is that it's multifunctional. It works for both operating systems.
Does it work for like Windows, or is anything Windows compatible now? Or
what really works for Windows Phone these days? I mean.
Right.
There's no, doesn't. I mean, they just came out with this with their own band, which I didn't really get to take a look at that yet. But I mean, I really wasn't even interested. Did you get to see the Microsoft band that they came out with, or no?
I think I might have saw an article on it. I kind of saw what it was supposed to look like. It looked like, to me, it looked like a Fitbit. It didn't look like a watch.
Exactly. That's exactly what I thought when I saw it, and that's exactly what I read too. That it was more geared towards fitness, which is cool, but I mean, I don't understand why the form factor has to take that shape. Why can't it also be a little bit more classy, more traditional looking? That's why I really like the Moto 360, because it has more of that traditional appeal, and it doesn't really look like anything like a smartwatch.
I see. Yep, definitely agree. Maybe something else will come out later, or in the near future.
Oh yeah, that's definitely. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying just resembling just more of a watch instead of a fitness tracker.
Yeah. Do you have is that a woodpecker in your room there?
You just caught me. No, it's No, it was a pad I was scribbling on real quick, just jotting down notes.
So yeah, so just I guess to move it along, we got the Moto 360 right now on the market, and then we have the LG G Watch R, which is the second circular smartwatch that's come out now. Have you gotten a chance to take a look at that? By any
Yeah,
chance?
I've been looking at it for a little bit now. Well, just for a little bit. I haven't really seen it in person. Yeah, it does look more like a watch than any other smartwatch.
Yeah, I mean, it resembles again because you have that the circular face, so it's gonna look really, it's gonna look like a traditional watch piece. The only thing with that one is it's much more bulky. It's not as classy as the Moto 360, which
Yeah.
I guess is cool for different, occasions. Like if you're going out, if you maybe, playing sports, basketball, or something, you want to have your timepiece on. It's a little bit more sporty. To me, it looks like a G-Shock, the Casio G-Shock.
Yes. Yep.
So I mean, I kind of like that too. And also they have I don't know if you read into it deeper, but they have the screen technology is POLED, which is a little bit more battery. It conserves battery a little bit better than the LCD does on the Moto 360. So it's kind of cool in that sense. I heard that the battery life's a little better, so I wouldn't be opposed to checking it out. I actually I think I told you too. I spoke to one of the reps from LG to see if they could send me the LG G Watch R to review. So supposedly I'm on a waiting list.
Okay. Yeah, I think you might have mentioned that, but hopefully, you get some good news from that.
Yeah, that'd be cool to check it out just so I can compare it then to the Moto 360, and the main difference. I mean, after I'd done the review, there was one thing that I noticed after the fact that I wasn't so happy about is the Bluetooth connectivity on the watch is actually really weak. I didn't even mention this to you or mention it on the review, but after now using it for even longer, I'm starting to realize like I can go from my bedroom to my backyard, which is maybe about I want to say I don't even know 15 feet away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And by the time I'm outside, I have no signal. I can't get any notifications. It shows that the Bluetooth signal was lost. So that's something that would be interesting to see if the LG the G Watch R has a better Bluetooth connectivity. Just because that's the only way you get notifications anyway. If you leave your phone at home, these watches are completely useless. They don't do anything. I mean, they will still keep the time, which is cool, but you won't get any notifications because it doesn't have any cellular signal.
No.
But that being said, that actually is a good segue into the next item that I want to talk about, which is the Galaxy Gear S by Samsung. And I don't know if you got to see this thing. I mean, if you bring it up now, you could do a quick Google search. It's pretty much. It looks like
I'm looking at it now, and it's that curved display kind of, right?
Yeah, it kind of wraps around your hand, which is it's futuristic, so it's cool in that sense. But it's pretty massive,
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. It actually is a little big. Well,
it looks like
big.
it looks like someone shrunk down, a Galaxy phone for like a wrist. That's pretty much what it is.
Mm.
So I mean, again, like I'm not gonna get on it because I didn't really get a chance to test it. I've been hearing good stuff about it though because the reception's really good. This watch, for the viewers that don't really know, this is I mean they probably know anyway because they're listening to this podcast, but it takes a SIM card, so you can put your SIM card in from your phone, and you can leave your phone at home. Then you can use this watch as like your smartphone and watch all in one. Which I guess is kind of cool because if you don't want to take your phone with you, or maybe I don't know. I mean, I was trying to think of uses where it would be actually useful. I mean, I really can't think of any.
So this would only work. It would only work with not just Android, but only Samsung phones, or would it work with any Android phone?
That is a good question. I do not know that. I do not know that. That's a good question. Sure, we could find that out. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it was only for Android, for Samsung, because they've done that before with their Galaxy Gear.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but I mean, the fact that it's pretty massive. I don't know if I really rock that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm looking at the batteries for each one of these too. I think the LG has actually a better battery life than both of them. I'm just looking at the mAh for each of the three, Samsung and LG, but I'm not sure how that.
Are you looking at the Gear S or the Galaxy Gear? Because those are
Gear S. The Gear S has a 300 mAh.
Really? Oh wow.
360.
Really?
360 has the 320, and LG has the 410 mAh. I'm not sure how well that plays. If that, I don't know if LG has a much better battery life just based on the specs. Maybe not. I don't know how it works.
That's really strange. I actually thought that it would have a much bigger battery because the display is much bigger on, you know what I mean, on the Gear S.
Yeah, or that might affect the battery. Might not be as long lasting as the 360.
Yeah, well, definitely. I mean, the 360 was in the beginning. It was really bad until it started getting updates, and it got much better. I can get about like a day and a half, 2 days with light use. If I'm using it pretty much all day long, I get like a solid day out of it. But I guess if anyone in the comments, leave a comment, let us know if you have the Galaxy S, I mean the Gear S rather, how has it been on battery life? I don't know if I'm going to be trying to pick that up anytime soon. I'm really more like when it comes to smartwatches. I'll be honest. Maybe I'm a bit vain, but I'm more get appealed to the aesthetic. So like, if it has a good functionality but it looks fugly, I'm really not gonna want to pick it up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that's why like when the Moto 360 came out, I was waiting for that to go on pre-order so I can get that because it's just a sexy looking watch.
Yeah, I liked how the entire face is almost like customizable. I'm looking at the LG. I'm looking at just only a few pics. That ring around the actual display, that's stable, right? In every single picture I'm looking at.
Yes. Yes. So, you cannot. It doesn't move.
Yeah. So
that's another thing that.
Turn off, because I know with 360 there's so many different faces that you might want to not want to see that ring every time.
Without a doubt, and especially if you're using like a digital watch face, when you have those tickers, those those permanent tickers on the watch face, it's gonna look silly. Yeah. Whereas with the 360, you don't have any of that. So that was something, But again, I feel like if you get the G Watch R, you're mostly gonna be using it with like a like a traditional looking watch face.
Yep.
I mean, you could use it with any watch face too, but you're right with that band around the tickers, it's gonna look silly. So
yeah,
I don't know.
They're white too. It looks like white or a light gray, but if your face is a different color, you're stuck with the white added onto it. I don't know if that was a purpose. Maybe they want to blend in with everyone else with the other watches that are out with it being a regular watch.
Well, I know the main purpose when they first came out with the watch, they were bragging about how it was the first fully circular smartwatch.
Oh yeah.
Because they were getting on Motorola how their watch is it's circular, the hardware is circular, but as you saw on my watch, it has that little black band at the bottom of it, which is where the sensors are held. So they were bragging about how theirs is like the first circular smartwatch. But again, when you take into consideration the bezel size on their watch compared to the Moto 360, it's just it's for two different types of people. Because again, with me personally, when it comes to phones and even my watches, I like almost bezel-less type of devices, things where it looks like the screen's kind of like falling off the edge. You know what I mean? Yep. It just looks more. It looks more not even classy, but it just looks more futuristic, I guess. With this watch, again, it has a much bigger bezel, so you have to really like that kind of style of watch. But I think that if you're looking for a watch on the market right now, those are like the two top smartwatches. Again, because they're running Android Wear, and like I originally asked you about, you having the iPhone. If you go to something like the Pebble or the Pebble Steel, you're not going to have the same functionality because that's running off Pebble OS, which is a very, it's also good in its own sense, but it doesn't have the Google integration that Android Wear devices have, because obviously Google is the one who created the Android Wear operating system. So they make sure that all their, like the Google search functionality, everything is, nicely, neatly integrated. And I use a lot of that. I use Google Hangouts. I use, constantly using voice searches. So that's really where I find the smartwatch being useful, just having those little quick voice actions that you can say to your watch. And I am almost 100% sure you can't do that to the same extent on a Pebble watch, and definitely can't do that on the Apple Watch. You'd be using Siri. So I don't know, how it's going to be. How do you find Siri right now on your phone and your iPhone?
Using Siri?
Do you use it much on your iPhone? Yeah.
I actually don't. Yeah, I haven't really been using it a lot. I mean, I had used it a few times. There's a lot of things Siri doesn't understand. I don't know if it was the way I was talking, but Siri couldn't. I was trying to find the nearest, I think it was like a restaurant. I think I was trying to find the nearest Chinese restaurant, and it had trouble with the word restaurant. I think it kept on saying restroom. It was just a little. I don't know. Maybe it was the way I was speaking that day, but I think I had trouble finding a restaurant nearby, and ever since then it was almost like a turnoff. But no, I mean it's fun sometimes, but it's I don't know. I haven't really been using it. Depending on it, I feel like if I have to ask the question like more than twice, it's I don't know.
Again, just so everyone knows, you're using you have the most recent iPhone, right? Which you have the iPhone 6?
Yeah, the iPhone
Yeah.
6.
I do know. By the way, I did introduce you. I personal friend, so I do know. I'm just making sure everyone else knows. So yeah, so you're rocking with the iPhone 6, and you find yourself when you do use voice searches. Do you have Google Now downloaded on your iPhone, or do you even use any of those like voice functionalities on your phone?
I haven't really been using any voice functionality. Maybe it's my lack of using it that sometimes when I talk.
Maybe you're just not. Maybe it could just be that I'm really lazy, and you're just
Yeah.
you're not as lazy as I am. I've been using them a lot more than I was back in the day. I feel like Google though, because I have having played around with my girlfriend's phone, and Siri has always been, like you said before, like very you have to be really consistent in the way you pronounce your words, whatnot. Whereas Google, over time, it starts learning your words, which is kind of scary. But if you download Google Now, you're actually being recorded. I don't know if Siri does it the same way, but Google, they record every voice action you do, and you can actually go into the settings on your phone. If you download Google Now, and you can go back and listen to searches that you said, and it has little mini recordings of your voice. So it's constantly learning the way you pronounce words, and it's just getting it better and better and better. So then when maybe you're not having the best day or you slur a word, more or less it's gonna get it correct because it's been learning you for a while.
I see. Wow, I didn't know that.
So yeah, I actually discovered that a month or two ago, where I was going through the settings on my Google Now, and I saw like a lot of things that they were storing, and you have to okay all this, but in the end result you get a lot of functionality. So I said before, you give up a lot of freedoms to get functionality. But that's just how it is. I don't want to get into a whole topic about that, though.
You're right.
That's for another podcast.
Exactly.
All right, so wearable technology is becoming a thing. I'm excited to see what's coming next with with wearables, with everything like Oculus Rift and going into virtual gaming and all that stuff. That seems really, I think that's really where the future is. Like, I'm not sure if I'm so much, keyed up to what's it called, Google Glass. I'm not sure how much I like that, just because I think that I don't think the design was really well executed. I feel like you look like a cyborg, and I don't think having a camera attached to it helps public opinion. I feel like people are going to be scared of it, which they already pretty much are saying that they are. They're not going to allow it in a lot of places. So I don't really think that's going to take off like they thought originally. I mean, what do you think about? Do you have any ideas on Google Glass? Would you buy it if someone gave it to you? Would you wear it around work? Out in public?
Yeah, that's tough. Worst case scenario would be someone would be thinking that you're recording them, so you have to always take that into consideration. Yeah, no, I mean, I like the I don't know.
I mean, like you said, so yeah, so that's a major issue. Public, that you're always recording. No one likes to think that you're being always recorded. But I mean, aside from that, like. So the whole purpose of it is you have this little screen that's in the the right corner of your eye, and you can see a display that shows you information. I mean, I feel like again, just the whole style of it. Like, I'm talking about just purely aesthetics. I feel like you look like a cyborg. I don't know if again with smartwatches. Like, I mean, what's the main differentiating factor between a smartwatch and then Google Glass would be just the fact that one is worn on the wrist and the other one you're wearing on your face. I feel like you get the same type of notifications. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same exact thing. I think I'd prefer it on my wrist rather than my face.
Yeah, that's true, because sometimes the glasses might get in the way, or if you're using it for like reading or sunglasses, you might not need that on inside or all the time. But yeah, a watch you use you keep on your wrist from when you wake up to when you go to sleep almost. Glasses sometimes it's not appropriate. Let's say in work settings or if you're like I don't know. It goes hand in hand. I guess it's probably better using it for travel or while you're walking. Or
I guess, yeah. Actually, the fact that you said that, I think that that's the only application where I feel like it's actually really useful. Again, this is coming from someone who's has never worn Google Glass. Just putting that out there. Have read a lot about it, but I feel like the only good application would be like driving, for instance, because as opposed to taking your eyes and off the road and looking at your phone for GPS, or even looking at like a Garmin or a TomTom, having that little display right in the corner is very non-intrusive, and you can kind of see. I believe you can see Google Maps on that little screen, so you can see where you're going when you're driving. I feel like that's pretty neat. And it might be also cool for maybe people in law enforcement, because I've always thought that the certain people in law enforcement, and they should kind of have like a camera on them at all times for their own safety and for public safety too, because a lot of times you hear cases about cops being wrongly accused, or situations where cops didn't do the right thing, and it's their word against public. And and if they were enforced to wear like a camera on their lapel, which actually I forget where it was, but I know it's actually they're doing that in some states now, where a cop has to wear a camera on their lapel at all times. That would kind of be cool. Google Glass, I think Google Glass would kind of be a good device too for maybe law enforcement.
yeah, definitely, I agree. Definitely agree.
So, and last thing I just want to bring up while we're talking on the subject, if I don't know if anyone has messed around with Moto Hint, and just so everyone knows about that, Moto Hint is Motorola's little Bluetooth headset that.
I think I've seen it. It almost fits in the ear completely, right?
Yeah, it blends right into your ear, and you really can't even see it, and it gives you pretty much all the functionality that you get from like Google Now, just with voice dictation. So you don't have any screen like you would on a smartwatch, or like we were just talking about with Google Glass. It's all voice dictation, which is kind of cool, because then you're like completely immersed into your surroundings, and you don't have to worry about looking at any screens or anything like that, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, it's interesting. Keep your eye on the target.
Yeah, exactly. So that's actually the next thing I want to pick up for review, because it's really cheap. It's only, I think it's $150 right now on the market, and it seems like it's pretty. You get a lot of features on it, so it's something I might pick up someday soon.
Oh, well, it's available now, right?
I believe so. They come in. They have like a bevy of different colors, like and different options, like because like just like their Moto X phones, where they do all the different color combinations and you can customize it. They have the same thing for the Moto Hint, so you can get like a leather feel, you can get a wood look, you can get different colors. Yeah, so some of them might be sold out, but I'm pretty sure you can pick up one of them or not.
Oh, nice.
Just a quick news briefing, I guess, or a news tip. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly, but the OnePlus One smartphone, which I'm pretty sure everyone has heard about already, that's the smartphone company that pretty much doesn't allow you to buy their phone. You have to be invited to spend your money to buy the phone. They're actually, tomorrow, November 17th, they're going to open that to the general public. So anyone who's been wanting to get their hands on a OnePlus One will have the opportunity to do that tomorrow, which is pretty cool. I don't know if it's going to be a good time for me to pick that up tomorrow, because I'm kind of short on dough right now, but just for those out there that have been waiting, it's pretty cool. Have you heard about that phone, right, Pedro?
Yes, I definitely heard about that phone, but that's news to me that it's was it November 17th? Was that tomorrow, right?
Yeah. I saw it. They tweeted about it, so I saw it. They tweeted about it like maybe a couple days ago. So that's why it's a great phone. So if you're waiting, if you have the money, it's gonna be $299 for the 16 gigabyte edition, I believe, and then it's like another $50 for a 64 gigabyte. So definitely the higher one is worth it for an extra $50. But it's just top of the line specifications for just $350, which is insane. I mean, it's a great phone, but they're spending very little money on marketing dollars, which is how I'm pretty sure they're keeping the cost so low. And then also the demand is obviously going to be high because everyone wants to get their hands on this phone. That's why they're also doing this invitation type of system where you have to be invited to buy the phone, because they just don't have the amount of people to make the phones to supply the demand.
Oh wow!
But we'll see how it goes tomorrow. I feel like the website's going to get busted, or it's going to break down because of the number of people trying to sign on to pick up this phone. But we'll see.
Yeah, it was like what,
So
13 megapixel, 5.5-inch screen. 13.
yeah, it's a pretty big. I mean, all these phones that are coming out, they're pretty average. What was the other specs on it? You was reading them down. My fault. I cut you
No,
off.
just the screen size and the camera. 5.5-inch screen, 13 megapixel camera.
Yeah, 3 gigabytes of RAM,
Yep.
which these are all top tier specifications you would find in like a $600-700 phone. That you would get on contract probably, and you would pay you'd pay a portion of that, and during your contract you'd pay the rest off, which is something I want to kind of delve into just a little bit, not really go too much into, is just the fact of off-contract phones, and I've been really, that's all I've been buying as of recently. I haven't, since I switched to T-Mobile even more so, I've been looking at off-contract phones, and it's unbelievable. There's so many phones on the market that people don't realize that you can get for so little, such little money that, really perform well. Like, for instance, this phone, the OnePlus One. This is like, a great phone for $350, and it compares, and compares and might even be a little better than the phones that are 3 times as much, or at least compares to phones 3 times as much, which is just insane. It's.
So yeah, you're buying the phone outright for that price, right?
Yeah, it's yours. You just buy it from the website. You would then get it home. You would slip your SIM card in, and you're good to go.
Wow.
So. Yeah, it's pretty crazy, and this is more of an American thing though. Like in America, that people, we're more, used to like going to your carriers, so like AT&T, buying your phone from them. From what I heard in other countries, I mean, this is the norm. Like people usually buy their phones outright, and then they don't pay the carrier over time, because that's what you do when you buy a phone from like AT&T. Like the new Samsung Galaxy Note phone or whatever, it's just marked down to like $150 or $200. Really, the phone costs like 3 times as much, but you're paying a portion of that, and then over the time of your contract, you're paying the phone back in total. So there's just so many phones on the market that you can save mad money on, and get a really nice phone, but just people do not know about it. So let's keep going down the rundown. The next thing I just wanted to touch on briefly was the Microsoft Lumia phone. So now, just to bring everyone up to pace, Microsoft acquired Nokia a while back now, and it just recently went into effect, the acquisition. But one of the things that they decided to do was take the Nokia branding off of the phone. So Nokia is still making their handsets, because Microsoft bought the phone making division of Nokia. So they're still making their handsets, their Microsoft Windows phones, but now instead of it saying Nokia Lumia, it's saying Microsoft Lumia, which, again, I don't want to dwell too much on this because it's minor, but I don't know how I feel about this, because I've always liked Nokia products. The Nokia, Lumia phones I thought were great, and I feel like that's really all Microsoft had going for them at one point. That's, they brought a lot of new innovation to Windows Phone. And now that they took the Nokia name off, it feels kind of like, I don't know, it feels kind of like a kick in the back, like, I don't know.
It's like changing mascots. It's really not the same. You don't get that same feeling. You feel like it's someone just rebranding it, and whenever that happens, it's usually something else. It's not really the same product, but I guess we have to wait to see. I don't know.
Of course, I feel like they could have been. I feel like they could have kept the name the same, to keep just because of the history that they had. I mean, I feel like, again, the reason why I even went to Windows Phone in the beginning was because of the Nokia design. I thought it was really cool. I thought the hardware was premium, and and then since I've had Windows Phone, Microsoft's been really slow with the updates. I mean, they've been pushing a lot of updates, over-the-air updates, which is nice, especially if you have the developer account. But I mean, as far as like just pushing forward, like they haven't been innovating as much as like other companies have. Again, like with the wearables, like we talked about before, they put out that band, which is cool. I really don't want to say too many negative things because I didn't get to try it, but just from a stylistic perspective, it doesn't really appeal much. Like, and they're putting products out at such a slow rate. You see all these other things coming out, and when do you hear about like a new Nokia product? A new Microsoft product coming out? It's very far and few.
Yeah, it's just probably like a handful. Well, less than a handful. Probably like you could probably count on one hand. No, I definitely agree. It's definitely something.
You had a Windows Phone at one point, right?
Yeah, I think the first Samsung Windows Phone, or not the first, but I think it was one of the first Samsung Windows Phone.
You don't remember? You don't remember offhand which model it was?
It was.
When you say Samsung, I'm thinking of the TVS right off the head, because I know that the TVS was a Samsung Windows phone,
Oh,
but
no, it was the Focus. I'm sorry, the Samsung Focus.
Samsung Focus. Okay, that was actually before the TVS. That
Yeah.
was Windows 7, I believe, right?
Yep, it was a Windows 7 phone, and it was a very good phone. It was very nice
Yeah.
at the
What
time.
at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things to like about Windows Phone. I mean, the main thing is the fact that you have all the icons on, all your notifications right when you open the phone, which is kind of unique. You don't see that with really any other phone, any other operating system rather, where you open the screen and you could see you have, you could see like, information right on the tiles, which is
Hmm.
kind of cool.
Yeah, I guess Microsoft's going through a phase. I guess they're doing layoffs. They're new CEO. I guess they're doing other things different. So that was probably one of them. Rebranding the Nokia. I guess they want to change it up. I don't know.
Yeah, they're trying to make it more Microsoft centric, but again, I feel like you're losing a lot of flavor because you're not going to make people forget that it's a Nokia phone. I mean, Nokia has a very distinct look to it, you know what I mean? And I just feel like if they left the branding alone, that's fine. They should really be focusing on getting more manufacturers on board because again, right now when you think about Windows Phone, I really think just Nokia. I mean, yeah, my HTC came out with their own HTC One running Windows Phone. Did you happen to see that, by the way? It was the HTC One hardware running Windows Phone 8.1.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, they used the same exact hardware from the HTC One, the M8, and they pretty much were running the Windows Phone OS on it, which was really cool. But I'm saying that that's what they need. They need more manufacturers on board making phones for their devices, not really worrying so much about rebranding the companies they bought to say their name. I just feel like again, Nokia brought a lot of flavor and really spruced up the company. They should have just left it alone. But
Yeah,
I
you're right.
think we're dwelling too much on it. Let's move forward. I quickly. This is actually kind of old news right now. I was just curious what you thought about this, especially since you just when did you pick up your iPhone actually? It wasn't that
Uh,
long.
I don't know, maybe like a month ago.
All right. Before you picked it up, did you well, actually even now have you heard about the whole iPhone bending
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely.
Bengate? It was yeah, hashtag Bengate.
The Bengate. Yes, I definitely heard about it.
Did you hear about that before or after you picked up the iPhone?
Before.
Okay. And
Uh,
that didn't deter you.
it didn't deter me because I was just a little unclear of how many cases there were, but I think mostly every case was with the bigger phone. One and two, I do put my phone in my pocket a lot. I haven't really been
In
uh,
your back pocket or your
no,
side
no,
pocket?
in my front pocket a lot, but I've been meaning to get a case. I just bought a case for it, so it's semi sturdy. So I'm thinking that maybe a lot of those cases, a lot of the phones that bent maybe didn't have a case, or I don't know if the case bent as well.
Are you trying to bend your iPhone right now on this podcast?
No,
Okay.
I
I just saw
was,
you just try knocking it on the table to see if it bent, because that'd be pretty cool. We're doing a live bending test
yeah,
on
maybe I
air.
could do that so I could get some viewers.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I'm joking. No, I was just I'm not sure if the phone will bend with the case on it. So as soon as I got the phone, I got a case. So maybe that's the only thing that's helping me out right now.
The only reason why I brought it up was I actually don't buy so much into it. I feel like it's more hype, honestly, than the whole bending thing. I think it started mostly on a YouTube video.
Hmm.
First, how I heard about it. How did you hear about it? Did you hear just people talking, or did you see a video? Did you see the video that I'm referring to?
I didn't see the video, but I just saw like in the news and articles about it. And
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it started on YouTube because the video I saw it started there. Which again, I feel like there are going to be cases where it bends because obviously metal obviously bends. As much as people think metal is premium, which it does, it feels nice in the hand and it's cool to the touch, but it's also more susceptible to bending than a plastic phone. You know what I mean? So if you put enough pressure on an iPhone or any metal phone, it's going to bend. And especially when you look at, like you said, originally it was the iPhone 6 Plus that bent. that has a lot of you know, a lot of what's the word I'm looking for?
Hmm.
You know, a lot of surface area.
Okay.
Yeah, so anything, you know, thin, lot of surface area, metal, and you try to bend it, it's going to bend. So I
Yeah,
just,
definitely. I mean, like, yeah, even if you sit, you can put any phone in the back pocket, really, if it's in your back pocket. But yeah, it's just in general, it's
yeah,
good
and
bend.
on this video, I'm talking about the person actually physically tried bending it.
And it bent.
Yeah, it didn't. I don't think it started originally that it was just in their back pocket and bent. It was physical force put on the phone to bend it to see if it would bend. You know, and that's how the whole this whole bend gate got started. So I mean, it's cool that it was brought up because it made a lot of people realize that metal phones can bend. For those that didn't realize that metal bends, I mean.
Yeah, seriously, it's an eye opener. No, I haven't really heard anything recently, so I might, coincidentally, it was right when the phone launched, but no, I didn't hear any recent news about it.
Yeah, no, this is old. This is like I don't even know why we're talking about it. This is
Yeah.
people are gonna be listening to this and like why aren't we talking about new things? This is old.
No. Well, getting back to the whole, I don't know if you've seen it. I know we talked about Microsoft. Getting back to that, at least in the App Store, or Apple app in the App Store, the Microsoft Office suite is free now. The mobile Office suite.
In the App Store, in the Windows Phone App Store?
No, in the Apple app, in the
Oh, in the Apple App Store.
yeah, I
Oh,
don't know if it's just that or if it's like all across the board, but Microsoft, their Windows Office apps are at least free on Apple's store. I think they had something like Office 360 or something like that at one point, but now you can get Word, the Word app for the App Store, the Office Word mobile and the Office Excel and Office PowerPoint for free. And that was just at the beginning of this month.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I actually didn't hear anything about that, so that's pretty cool. You've
Uh,
downloaded it since?
Yeah, it was free, so I downloaded it. At one point, it was one of the top apps, so I definitely downloaded it. It was even for, I think also for the iPad too. I don't know, it might be just for Apple. It might be, I don't know if it's other things, but all the Office apps, Excel, PowerPoint, Word, were free. So, and it looks like a brand new app. It's not like the app before. It looks just a brand new app.
I know. I mean, I actually, what is it again? On Chrome, on Google Chrome, you can download extensions to Microsoft Office. Well, at least the Word, and I think they have Excel too. But I'm not sure the difference. I think it's not as full-fledged. It's more it might be like partial version. I've been using it though. It's pretty. It's got autocorrect, spelling check, and you can pretty much format on it. So it's been good for me. I haven't downloaded Microsoft Word or bought it. I've been using the extension on Chrome.
I see. Yeah, so I think at one point, even earlier, I think you could you can only use those apps, the Office apps on Windows phones, but now like it's connected to every other phone now, so maybe that's something new.
All right, so the next thing I wanted to briefly talk on was, and I think it's really relevant right now with technology and everything that's all the innovation that's been happening, is, and I've been curious to hear what your opinions are too on this. Is what are your thoughts on technology and innovation? And I guess more so what I'm trying to say is like just everything like the tablets, the computers, all this information that we have at our fingertips. And then the younger generation getting it into their hands. I mean, I feel like I've been seeing a lot of kids that are younger and younger having cell phones and tablets and doing all that kind of stuff. Do you I'm not sure how you feel about that. Like,
yeah, definitely good and bad. I mean, it's just I guess as times change, as far as we're talking about kids. Curriculum should change too.
you're talking about in school?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to talk about in general, just, not in general, but yeah, more specifically, school if a lot of kids had access to like an encyclopedia or like Wikipedia or just learning stuff in general, if they have some smart device, school curriculum should change. Should be the same as when we were in school. Also, technology courses, I don't know, kids don't really, they kind of get addicted to it.
Yes, definitely. The same thing happens to us too. Like there's times, I shouldn't even say times. I feel like every night I'm up to like sometimes 2, 3 in the morning, and I'm like looking at my computer screen, either reading an article or watching a YouTube video. And normally I'd be in bed at that time if I wasn't doing that. So I feel like it definitely has that effect on people. And especially when you're younger, like you were saying, it's even more pronounced, you know what I mean, because their minds are still developing. So there's certain applications, like you said, for curriculum. It's gonna be it's more valuable. You know what I mean? Instead of going to the library and you look through that little Rolodex. I mean, you remember that where you would have the cards, you pull out to find it in the library. If you was looking for a book or an encyclopedia, you would pull out and they had all the cards lined up. It was actually, I forget this actually. I think there's a name for that.
I don't know the name for that either, but
The point is, I'm trying to say is like, so yes, now having a computer technology, all this stuff that you can just go right to, and even just doing a natural Google search and bring up 100,000 pages of information. It's like the information is so vast, so it's good. But then again, I mean, coming from where I'm at, so I have a bunch of nephews and nieces, and it's like I have a nephew. I have a lot of them, so don't judge me.
Yeah.
I believe he's 8 years old.
Oh wow.
He's young, and he just got an iPhone 5S, one of those colorful Nokia-looking ones. I think it's a 5S, right? No, not the 5S. The
5C.
The 5C. Thank you. So yeah, so he's 8 years old and he has an iPhone 5C. I feel like, okay, so it's good in the sense because you can keep in contact now with your child, but then also at the same time, it's like, I don't think parents realize that, the seriousness of the cell phone. Like, they think of it as just being a phone, but they don't realize that it's also a computer. It's essentially a little computing device. I mean, you can search Google, you could go watch videos, you can learn so much stuff right from your phone. It's a computer. Yeah. So I feel like, when people do that, parents, whatever, you're giving your kid a lot of responsibility, and you need to have a lot more boundaries set to where, like, there's a certain time to look at the phone or a certain time when they can have the phone, because you just give them that, and it's like, you're giving them a computer. And I think there's a certain age that, all kids should learn different things at. I don't know if you feel the same way.
No, definitely. There should be, just like how there's privacy settings on let's say your home computer with children, there should be, I don't know, it shouldn't, I don't believe, like a 5C would be suitable for an adult, the same way it would be suitable for a child. I believe that, I don't know, it should be, I don't know, it's tough.
Like, I mean, here's the thing. You give a kid that, it's like at 8 years old, or, or younger, you're letting them see so much stuff that again, maybe it's just me. You don't have to agree with me, but I'm just saying I feel like at that age your mind is developing, and you shouldn't allow just giving complete freedom. Like, I mean, you can see anything on there. So it's like at 8 years old, that's a lot of information to take in. I feel like at a point in time in life, there's certain things that you should learn. I don't think that it's really that healthy to, just learn everything all at once. You know what I mean? It's kind of like an overload, especially for a developing brain where, like, they should be focused on school and certain things in school. When you give them a phone, it's like the world. You're giving them the world in their hand, which, yep. I think it's just too much. And that's the other thing I wanted to just bring up quick. I feel like I'm rambling, but is that, with technology, which is great, obviously, I have a tech channel, I talk about tech, I love tech, but I feel like also with the innovation and all this, all the innovations that occur, that it just puts a lot more pressure on the regular person. Like, you know what I mean? We're expected to know a lot more now than, our parents or our grandparents did, because they didn't have the same resources that we did. Now it's like, we have a computer, we have a smartphone, we have, the world in our pocket at all times. We're expected, for jobs or for whatever it is, people that we meet, to know everything. Like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's a lot more pressure in a sense.
Yeah, definitely. We're no longer in the beeper and whatchamacallit. We're no longer with beepers and pagers. We have smartphones now.
I know, man. Remember the beepers? You had a beeper or no?
No, I never had the opportunity.
Yeah, that's the slight age gap between us, but I actually had a beeper back in the day. That was the first phone, no, the first, I guess, I don't know what you would consider that, paging device, phone, type of phone. That was the first thing I've ever had, was a beeper.
Oh wow.
It was, if I remember correctly, it was actually it was one of those see-through plastic. I think it was green actually too, if I remember. So like a see-through plastic beeper that you could just text numbers to, and then there was ways that you could like type words with the numbers, because you couldn't actually type letters, but you could it was only for numbers, but there was ways you can format words with the letters, with the numbers rather. Well, do you remember what the first phone you ever had or no?
First phone, yeah. I don't know. I think it was an LG, and it was a flip phone. Now I'm trying to think. It was definitely a flip phone. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think I might have just found looking up. But yeah. It was one of those green screen. With the only game on it was Snake, and yeah.
Nice. I know. I kind of missed that. I was like, I still own my first phone that I have. The first phone that I got, and it was a Virgin Mobile phone. It's pretty much like a 10-button, 1-inch by 1-inch display. I still own it, but that was my first phone. It wasn't even a smartphone. It was like a feature phone. Yeah, I might actually post a picture of that on Instagram for like a throwback Thursday pic.
Yeah, that would be sick. That would be nice.
So, all right, man. So I've been told that we're coming across the 1 hour mark, which is pretty crazy. I feel like it went by pretty quick. I just want to end it by saying thank you, Pedro, for joining. It was really nice having you on for the first podcast. As it goes on, I'm definitely going to try to get it more formatted. So, but I think this was a good introduction.
Yes, I agree. It was a nice warm up.
Yeah, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining me, buddy.
Well, thank you for the opportunity to join you.
Of course, brother. Of course. What is it? Is there anywhere that people can find you at? Any social media links that people can find you at?
Yeah. I do have an Instagram, and that's probably where most people can, and we'll be able to reach me. I don't have a Twitter, and I don't have a Google Plus. My Facebook, I'm not really too active, but yeah, my Instagram is Pedro, Pedro, the letter 4, the number 4, Mayor, Mayor. So Pedro 4 Mayor. That's kind of.
Are you thinking about running for sometime in the future, by any chance?
Are you talking about a marathon? Or are you talking about for like a presidential, like
for mayor?
Because I can do either or. Do I plan on running? I'm not sure.
I'm just messing with you. That reference is as Napoleon Dynamite reference. Is that is that where you got that from?
Yes, Pedro. Vote for Pedro. Pedro for president.
Yeah.
And I guess throughout high school, that was kind of like my thing with my name, my first name. So I kind of changed it from president to mayor because I thought mayor was a little cooler than president. At the time, I think it was. I don't think the president was very popular at the time when that movie came out. So I chose. I kind of like dig the term mayor instead of president. So yeah, that's kind of what I went with.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. I like that. So you can reach Pedro at Pedro, the letter 4, Mayor, on Instagram. And me, you can reach me at PocketableTech, obviously, on Twitter at PocketableTech. And also, I just wanted to say that if you guys have any questions or if you want to leave future questions for future podcasts, as of right now, I don't have any email address set up for that, but you can just send them to at PocketableTech on Twitter. So if you have any listener mail, I guess, you can send it there. Or just help me with the format for future podcasts if there's things you want to hear us talk about. Like I said at the beginning, this is going to be mostly tech talk, but I kind of want it to be a little bit more free range where we could discuss, really anything. So definitely leave comments or tweet me over on Twitter at PocketableTech. And again, Pedro is on Insta at Pedro, the letter 4, Mayor. So that's going to be it for now. Pedro, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast, all right?
All right, definitely. Take care.
All right, brother. Take care.